Vaginal odour. Today we'll be talking about causes of vaginal odour, how to treat vaginal odour, and prevention of vaginal odour. Please listen attentively. Now, it is very important to note that vagina has its unique smell, and the smell of your vagina is being affected by your activities, by your lifestyle, by what you eat. Now, I will explain. If you're not always taking water, if you're dehydrated, if you're not taking water, you notice that your urine is concentrated, right? It's concentrated, it's dark in color. So this increases the uric acid, the thing that gives this, I don't know how to explain it, but because it's concentrated, your vagina has its ammonia smell, kind of, okay, and risk of microorganisms intensify. Now, there are some certain foods that you will eat. For instance, if you're always taking coffee, it may affect your vaginal health. If you're always taking sugary things, consuming sugary things, okay, it may increase your chances of having urinary tract infection, and it will affect your vaginal health and increase your chances of having yeast infection. Yes, so having known, and also if you're working out or if you sweat a lot, it also makes your vagina have another kind of smell. But your vagina is supposed to have a smell. That is a fact. It's supposed to have a smell. Yeah, and this smell is unique. Okay, you're not supposed to be fishy odor. No, because of that microorganism. There's a good microorganisms that is in the vagina. Okay, so it's supposed to have a unique smell. But once it starts itching you, once it is the smell becomes offensive, like fishy odor, and starts paining you, burning sensation and all, this is when you may be having each of the conditions that I'm going to be mentioning in this video. Having known this, let's talk about why your vagina smells. Number one, you may be having what is called bacterial vaginosis. Now, bacterial vaginosis is when that good bacteria, like I told us before, that every woman has yeast, okay? So, but when this yeast is a bacteria that is in every woman's body, is overgrown, becomes too much, it disrupts the normal flora of that woman. It disrupts the environment of that woman, and then it starts giving you symptoms. Okay, it can start smelling, bacterial vaginosis, it starts smelling, odor, discharge. This is one of the causes of vaginal odor. Number two, bad hygiene. Bad hygiene can make you have vaginal odor. If you sweat a lot, you don't bath, okay? And please, it's also very important to note that bathing too much is not good. Twice is okay, especially if you sweat, and if you want to, maybe you're hot and all of those things, you can bathe without soap, okay? But have your normal bath. And if you want to bath during the day, like normal during the day, you can bathe without soap. So having a bad hygiene can cause vaginal smell for you. You leaving your parts inside of you for hours. This can cause multiplication of microorganisms and cause infection for you. Not having adequate hygiene, not bathing, not taking care of yourself, okay? Meanwhile, I have a video on causes of body odor. If you have body odor, please locate the video here, and I have the causes and how to get rid of it. Okay, watch it and know how to take care of yourself as a woman. So bad hygiene will cause, especially after sweating, working out, can cause you to have vaginal odor. Very important thing that can cause you to have vaginal odor is semen or sperm. Sperm is alkaline, meanwhile the vagina is acidic. So when the sperm enters in the semen, especially there's some certain kind of, it doesn't happen all the time, but when you're always exposed to different sperm and all of those things, it changes the odor of your vagina. It disrupts it. You will notice that some people, the next day, they will have discharge and all. Okay, so this is what sperm can do to your vagina. It will be smelling. And also, if you notice that after sexual intercourse that you smell, you notice vaginal smell, this may be a case of bacterial vaginosis and also trichomonasis. The next one that can cause this is a sexually transmitted infection called trichomonasis, and a visible symptoms of this illness is having a grayish, like silver color discharge, and it smells very bad, and especially after sexual intercourse, maybe the next day, as long as the sperm is inserted, or after sexual intercourse, you will notice an awful smell. Your vagina was not smelling before, but immediately after sexual intercourse, it starts smelling. This is a typical sign of trichomonasis, which can be treated with antibiotics depending on the organism that caused it. Okay, so if you don't know how to treat infections, I have video on how to treat infection. Please locate it on my YouTube channel here. Now, the next thing that can do this, fingering. Okay, fingering and putting spit in your vagina. For those people that use spit to wet up their vagina, this can disrupt the normal flora of the vagina. Okay, because like I said, if you notice, look at the video on things that causes yeast infection for women without knowing, how men causes infection for women without knowing, you will understand. So fingering, using dirty hands to finger, can give you infection and make your vagina smell. If you must, the person has to wash his hands, trim his nails, and make sure it is very okay. Remember, the vagina, nothing is supposed to enter there. Look at that video on how to care for your vagina and your vulva. You will understand more here on my YouTube channel. Okay, so the next thing that can cause this is other illnesses, like maybe vaginal cancer, having external issues, even diabetes mellitus. Diabetes, if you are not taking care of yourself, because of the presence of sugar, it can increase the overgrowth of yeast, and because you're always urinating all of the time, and give you vaginal odor. So having known about this, infections, lifestyle, in lifestyle, you notice these things that I mentioned. Okay, please, and bad hygiene. Okay, now let's talk about how to prevent this thing, how to prevent it and how to treat it. Now, prevention, you already know in what I've mentioned, you have to take, and how to treat this. You have to take lots of fruits, vegetables, take things that improve your vaginal health. For instance, take yogurt, take fruits, take vegetables, drink lots of water, so that you not be dehydrated, so that when you urinate, the urine is not concentrated and increase your chances of that place smelling ammonia and infections and all. Then make sure you, after urinating, that you clean your vulva with water. Okay, or you use wipes. There are feminine wipes, or any wipes that that doesn't have alcohol in it, right? All these baby wipes that are soft, you can use it. Don't clean inside your vagina, clean the vulva, where those places where the urine has touched. Okay, so make sure you wash off after urinating, drink lots of water, and in case of don't allow fingering except well washed. Okay, don't use spit to lubricate. Use if you want to use lubricant, use lubricant that doesn't have any scent at all, please, if you want to use lubricant. Now, it now depends on the cause, what your kind of vagina, what's causing your vaginal odor. You can, if it is bacterial vaginosis, yeast infection really sometimes it doesn't really cause odor, it will just change, but that smelly fish odor is usually bacterial vaginosis or trichomonasis. In case of trichomonasis, you have to, in case of trichomonasis or other sexually transmitted infection, I forgot to mention, like gonorrhea, syphilis, all those things that you start having discharge, of course it will smell. You have to treat it as an infection. There's a way to treat infection. I don't want to linger this video, or simply just go to a hospital or go to a laboratory. They will take your sample. With the sample, they will run the tests. Please just go and watch that video, because most people have their infection and it keeps coming back. In that video, I explained how to treat infection. That's another one. And how to treat infection so they don't come back. Please watch that video in case of sexually transmitted infection. Then if you're having yeast infection and bacterial vaginosis, there's these people on Instagram. Please chat them up. Temptimate Essentials. Okay, I'm putting them I'm putting them here on the screen. Chat them up on Instagram, or you chat them on WhatsApp. Tell them you're from Nurse Merit on YouTube, okay? They will give you 20% discount this month. Tell them you're from me, and they will give you discount, okay? I hope this video helps. Like it so that YouTube will suggest it to other people. Let me know if you have more questions. Remember, bacterial vaginosis and yeast infection. But if you have sexually transmitted infection, locate my other video on how to treat sexually transmitted infection. Have a nice day. Make sure you follow me on all my social media handles in case you want to connect with me.